Now it's time for another Board Game Brawl preview with Nick Meanahan, sponsored by BoardGameBliss.com. Hey folks, today we're going to take a look at a game that is currently seeking funding on Kickstarter. That game is called Catbox, and it's originally from the company 2+ Games, but it is also going to have a new North American version from Brawl Games, and that is the version that is seeking funding on Kickstarter. Now, this is actually the full version of the game that I'm going to do a preview of, the original full version of the game, but this is still a preview. It's not a review. I'm not going to give my final opinion because the North American version may have some slight changes to it, so I just want to play it safe in that regard. Now, having said that, this game is actually from the same designer as Cat Tower, a game which I reviewed some time ago, and you can actually check out my review of that. I'll link to it up in the top corner of your screen, as well as down in the description section of the video. There will also be links to the Kickstarter there as well. Now, what Catbox is, it's the same kind of theme with cats, but it's a little bit different, quite a bit different actually. In this one, you are laying down cards in the center of the table representing cats poking their heads out of boxes, and what you're trying to do, you each have a different cat identity, or potentially a chihuahua. We'll get to that in the overview. And you're keeping that secret, and you're trying to have as many of your cat out on the table as possible. Of course, it's a little more complicated than that, so let me go ahead and give you a brief look at how the game is played. Again, this is the original version of the game we're going to take a look at, so if there are changes in the North American version, just keep that in mind. But then we're going to come back, I'll give you my final thoughts. Catbox is a competitive game for 2 to 5 players. The goal of the game is to be the player with the most cats of her type visible on the table when the game ends. The game ends when the deck runs out and no players have cards in hand. The game comes with 5 cat identity cards and 1 chihuahua, who works a bit differently. Shuffle these up and deal 1 face down to each player. You must keep your identity secret until the end of the game. There are 48 double-sided Catbox cards in the game. Shuffle them, then remove some of them from the game based on the number of players. Then deal 1 or 2 cards to each player, again depending on the number of players. What's important here is that the side of the card that's visible on the pile is the only side the other players should ever see. The other side of the card should never be shown to anyone else other than you. Simply flip 1 card off the stack to begin the play area. Starting with the first player, you must do one of 2 things on your turn. You either play your card down to the table with the secret side face up, or play someone else's card with the public side face up. The cards that are played must cover up 1 or 2 quadrants of an existing card in the play area, and they must all be oriented in the same way. If the card you played has no empty boxes depicted, you can only cover 1 quadrant. But if there is an empty box on the played card, you can cover 1 or 2 quadrants. After that, you refill your hand to the hand limit set at the beginning of the game, and then play passes until no one has any cards left. At this point, everyone reveals their cat identities and tallies points. Every visible cat in the play area of your color nets you 1 point. If you have the largest connected string of cats of your color, you get an additional point for each cat in the string. The Chihuahua is a bit different. He gets 2 points for every run of cats connected by exactly 3 cats of the same color, and 1 point for each empty box. And that's that. There are advanced rules for the game as well. First, don't remove any cards. Then, each player gets a set of one-time use action tokens, which they can use in addition to their 1 card play each round. If they choose not to use them, each token is worth 1 more point at the end. The tokens are Cat Paw, which lets you immediately play another card. Cat Box, which is placed on a quadrant to prevent people from covering it or any of the 8 surrounding quadrants until your next turn. Dried Fish, which locks down a card from your hand or someone else's and lets you be the only one eligible to play it later. Warning, when played before your card, lets you cover up to 4 quadrants, though you can only cover a max of 3 cats when you do this. And Toy Mouse, which lets you move 1 uncovered card to another place. That is Catbox. Now on to my final thoughts. Well, starting off, it's difficult to talk about anything other than the theme at first, because adorable cats poking their heads out of boxes is kind of what the internet was built on, adorable cats in some way, shape, or form. And that's the entirety of this game. You have very cute cat artwork and very clean and nice graphic design of them poking their heads out of boxes, and building the game around that in such a way that you have this spatial element, this, as I said, like sort of a puzzly element of putting down these different cards is a very interesting way to go about it, because you could have easily seen this as just being like some sort of Uno derivative of trying to, or set, like very derivative set collection game of trying to gather together different cards, but instead adding that element of putting all the cards out on the table not only makes the game look good, but it just adds a very interesting element and decision making for the players to have, where you have to decide, okay, is it better to play the secret information card that I have now, which the other players don't know about, or keep that with the hope that no one else uses it and go for someone else's card now, this public information, if that's better off for me. So there's important decisions to be made in the game, despite the fact that the game is very fast to learn, very easy and fast to play. And you also have the advanced mode, which is not too difficult at all. You should probably just throw it in right from the first game, as a matter of fact, where you have these cat tokens to use, each of which is only one-time use. So they're very powerful, but you can only use them the one time, but they at least they may give you an edge when you desperately need it. When you do not want anyone to place any more cards on these 8 quadrants of cards, 9 quadrants really, go ahead and use the cat box card. Or when you desperately need to play another card right then and there, you go ahead and play that card and that token, the cat paw. So really interesting ways to use those and to have even more decisions to be made when you have the advanced rules in play. But I do want to stress, this is most definitely a family-oriented game. This is a game for anyone of all ages, casual gamers and hardcore gamers alike, because it has just enough of an edge to it, while at the same time it's a fun theme. It's something you can easily get into, and who doesn't like cute cats? Even I'm a dog person, and I still like cute cats. So definitely, if you like these types of games, or if you are a fan of Cat Tower, you should definitely check this one out as well. Go to the Kickstarter page. There's going to be a link up in the top corner of your screen, as well as down in the description section underneath this video, along with the links to my original Cat Tower review from the same designer. And you can check that out. Hopefully, find out more information than I could possibly tell you here, and hopefully consider backing the project. That is Catbox, formerly of 2+ Games, and still, but soon to be released from Grail Games as well. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon, and make sure to check out our sponsor, Board Game Bliss, where you can find an amazing selection of games from around the world. BoardGameBliss.com. Thanks for your support.